The Donner Party. Hello and welcome to my very first webisode of Historically Comedic. Basically, a history blog and videos that tell you what you want to know about history, but you know, being funny. And today I received a question about the Donner Party, so basically I'm just going to give you guys the full story because, well, only thing we really know is some assholes ate each other out in the woods. Now, the Donner Party was this group of pioneers and immigrants in America heading out west to the great California. However, I don't think they really understood what it takes to get over there. They had to cross the Great Plains, which are fucking boring. They had to cross the Great Divide, which is just mountains. Mountains and frozen lakes and basically just fucking cold and rocky, and everybody died. Not to mention everybody died of dysentery, as said by the Oregon Trail game. Plus, what's everybody doing out west? They probably thought, you know, the East was too mainstream and that they're gonna start an indie record label out in California or Oregon or whatever it is. So that's basically why people went up. Now, the Donner Party was actually part of a larger wagon train. It was about 500 wagons all hooked together. And they basically left Independence, Missouri on May 12th, 1846. Now, they followed the train, and they followed the normal trailhead Oregon, you know, being all mainstream as they are. And, you know, everybody was happy. We're gonna make it, we're all gonna live, we're all gonna have great lives, we're gonna find gold, and we're gonna fuck each other good. However, there was a bit of a disagreement. The general 500 wagon train wanted to head north along the normal Oregon Trail and then follow the California Trail down south. Donner Reed Party didn't want to do that. They said, fuck the establishment, we're going to follow this new Hastings Trail. Now the Hastings Trail was set by a man named Hastings, of course, who basically wanted to be in the history books, create his own trail, and, you know, basically go where the fuck I want. Problem was, he traveled it about twice himself just to get there and back. And he still wasn't even sure about the exact trail. He claimed to cut off 240 miles, when in reality, the shortcut he had created added 150. Now, Hastings said that his trail was safe and that they would have nice, easy rolling hills and some small mountains. However, a journalist by the name of Edwin Bryan, and he basically said, fucking die. Now, by the time they left, on July 27th, 1846, Hastings had already left 11 days earlier. The family naturally didn't listen, and they said, onwards and upwards, good lads. So, they took off the trail, despite warnings and people telling them not to. And they basically sent Donner Reed to go find him. Now, Donner Reed found Hastings about 100 miles up. They said, come back, we need your help, we will give you great gold. And he said, no, LOL, fuck that. He basically said, just go this way or something, and then take a left at the tree, and you'll be fine. Very general directions, which is pretty much why they started fucking up. The Hastings shortcut he gave us didn't really make sense, so we'll make our own fucking trail. And they found a lot of problems. They found that there was very steep inclines, that their oxen were falling down. The kids kept bitching about wanting to go to McDonald's. Various things like that. Shut the fuck up, let me drive this goddamn wagon. Then of course there's that Mexican asshole crying about everything. You know, Senora, we must have to go through the mountains. So there were a lot of troubles they had, and so of course the family started saying, you know, my dad's stronger than your dad, my dad made the better decision. And so then like small factions started forming. What was ahead of them, as they came down the mountains, they saw the Great Salt Lake Desert. The Great Salt Lake Desert, if you have never been in one, is basically as higher than the Devil's Dick. There was no water and there was no grass. They were basically running on almost empty for rations. That's a very ballsy move. But Reed, being the leader he was, says, we must continue on, my friends. So, they kept going. As the families reached the Sierra Nevadas on October 20th the same year, there was some trouble. There was a light snowfall one day. And then, you know, Donner, being the brilliant man he was, said, by Jove, we will hit other snowdrifts. We must stop, family. So now comes the bad part. They have no food. And they set off in late November, early December to California, down to the Bear Pass to try to find some help. And along the way, a few people died. So they decided that people would eat the people they hated the most. Now, when they finally got help in California, they had them go all the way back up to the peak of the mountains of the Sierra Nevadas. When they got there, they found about half their total party of 87 people was dead. 48 made it, and about 3/4 of that 48 people all ate somebody. One might imagine that there was very bad news everywhere, and there was, because one journalist, actually, who was a member of the Church of Christ of Latter-day Saints, condemned them as sinners. However, in the West, they were seen as heroes. After 1846, nobody really came west anymore. It wasn't because of the Downer Reeds, don't get me wrong, Mexican War, should I say. And this war was actually the reason why we don't really head west anymore, because we gusta guns. But that's another historical event for later. So, thank you for joining me on my first episode of Historically Comedic. I hope you learned something today. I know I did.
Now I'm gonna eat you, fool. I eat boys up, breakfast and lunch.